We live, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Salami Squadron around the world. Ooh, yeah. This is the Meat Pack Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, your boy, Michael Rodgers. Two co-hosts, per usual, Mike Richman in the cut.
What is up, Salami Squad?
Salami Squad, Mr. Nicholas Twigg in the house.
Yo,
Was happening, player? All right, fellas. Today's Tuesday, 11/10/2020. Had some really good football games over the weekend. Had a pretty shitty one last night, but we're going to get into it here. Going to just do a weekend review for the games we saw. And we're just going to get started, man. First game we're going to talk about here is the little Packers 49ers action. Anyone that's been following us, we just posted a video the other day of our QB tier lists, and Aaron Rodgers was at the top of that. He proved it again today. I know I'm talking about the tier list. We did our mid-season awards, and Mike, I know you said he was the front runner for the MVP this year, and I'll tell you what, A-Rod looks damn good, dude. I don't know I don't know, man. He does look like that guy this year, just having an unbelievable season. Like 24 picks. Or 24 touchdowns, or like 2 picks. That's just an insane ratio, but he's just been doing that his whole career.
The whole career.
The whole career, dude, just takes very good care of the football. I think sometimes it might work in their disadvantage because he does throw the ball away a lot. So, I don't know if the ratio thing is something he pays close attention to. Feels like it sometimes, but either way, they're playing insane this year. I think we expected this out of the 49ers just with all the injuries they have, man, and just, not for a lack of trying. It's just when you got guys that are out in those amount of numbers and of that importance, it's going to be a hard time winning football games. I don't know. What do you guys saw out of that game?
yeah, the 49ers really never had a chance in that game. The amount of players that on the COVID list and injury list, you could make like almost a full starting roster out of just that.
It's insane.
You're just not going to win games throwing to Richie James the entire game.
Hey, dude balled out too. He had like 180 yards or something.
Yeah, I mean, Niners just had a rough go there. And on the other side, Green Bay is just insane this year. Devontae Adams is scoring 3 touchdowns every game he plays at an unreal rate. He's got some fat yak. But the story with the Packers has just been they only have one Super Bowl to show for 20 years of franchise quarterback. So, True. I don't know. I think they're on one this year. I would like to see how deep their playoff run makes it. But I don't know. Just got all the faith in the world in Aaron Rodgers. He's going to get the job done one way or the other.
They fumbled the bag not getting a receiver at the deadline, though. They need someone to pick.
Will Fuller was talking from Houston. Yeah, they definitely needed someone. You're right, Twig, because Devontae Adams is doing it. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, they're using him as the deep threat, and he's just not hauling in the balls he needs to.
Dude is such a bum.
Too, and Aaron Rodgers has never thrown to the tight end. I thought maybe they'd be possibly in a run-in for maybe a Zach Ertz, but it didn't happen. I think definitely down the stretch they're going to need that second guy. Like you said, obviously they didn't yesterday, but like you said, Will Fuller, any just kind of sort of above average. They should have just went out and got something for him. You have a guy in Aaron Rodgers that's like, dude, we can win this thing this year if we really want. My whole thing with the Green Bay Packers, my take is obviously taking Jordan Love in the first round, trading up to get Jordan Love. I think the only reason we're seeing this and we're seeing Green Bay not, I guess from an outside looking in view, look like they're going all for it and putting these pieces around Rodgers because I think I've heard people say it before that obviously Aaron Rodgers is just going to look good numbers-wise, record-wise, regardless because he's Aaron Rodgers. But in a way, that general manager is going to have to justify why the hell they picked Jordan Love in the first round, why they traded up for him. When you guys were 1 game away from the Super Bowl last year, you didn't. You could have went out and got a skill position player. I know they, got a running back in the second round, but, and they were on fire the first, they're 6-2, so they've been on fire the whole season. Obviously, they had a nasty loss to Tampa Bay, but to think, if that wide receiver core just needed one more solid guy, I mean, I think that would have been an easy lock for them to at least get back to the NFC Championship. But that's just that might be a hot take or something, but I just think in some way, shape, or form in that building, they're going to have to answer and justify the Jordan Love pick, or there's just no reason to draft them at all. So I think they want Aaron Rodgers to do good. They want to be in a playoff contention. I just don't think they want him to do that good. You know what I mean?
I actually disagree. I don't hate the Jordan Love pickup by them. Like I just said, Green Bay's always been a franchise quarterback team. So they're planning on developing that talent in the next 5 years. You know, we're probably going to see the end of Aaron Rodgers, which is crazy to even think. But, you know, you just get old, you stop playing. So I think they want to develop Jordan Love underneath him.
But you don't think next year or the year after that you could not find a player that's as good as Jordan Love? You could win it this year. First round, you traded up.
Just being in a quarterback room and watching Aaron Rodgers do his thing for multiple years is going to make you a better player one way or the other. So I understand why they do it, but you're 100% right. Like, they could be on a run right now. They just are missing one or two pieces. They got the running back figured out with Aaron Jones is doing good, and his backup, I forget his name right now, played great when Aaron Jones was out. They really just need one solid receiver, and they could do it.
They could have got Pat Queen there too, a middle linebacker. I know that a lot of Packers fans thought they were going to go there with that pick for defense, you know, linebacker out of LSU. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think just obviously maybe Breeze and Brady are going to be anomalies, but you know, I think Aaron Rodgers can play for another 4 or 5 years. I think he will play for Green Bay. So, you know, in 2 to 3 years, if Jordan Love's not starting football games, I don't see the point in all that. But hey, Packers are about to go on a run, dude. It's going to be nice to see A-Rod. Always good to see him winning. But we'll move off of that game. Next game we'll talk about is a little Texans Jaguars action, or just a dump bowl. Not a hot game to watch. Although I will say, what's his name? There's a Jack. Is it Jake? What is it? Jake Luton. Give me the loot. Hey, he looked pretty impressive yesterday. You know, stepping in for washed up there Minshew Mania. I don't think he was ever good. Fun little story. Minshew Mania, had the mustache and all that. Fit the whole Jacksonville personality and culture pretty perfectly, I think. That dude's just a bum water. And, you know, Jake Luton in there. I mean, I still think no matter who comes in and plays hot at the quarterback position, maybe they ride out Jake Luton. They're gonna get one of those 3-4 quarterbacks coming out of the draft this year. You know, because Gardner Minshew was technically in that position last year, where obviously Nick Foles, he came in game one, but just because there's absolutely zero pressure on him, no expectation, any numbers would have looked good. And he didn't look bad, but now it's kind of like, obviously the Jaguars are tanking. They weren't going to be good this year, but Gardner Minshew, I think, is a big problem with that. So they look competitive yesterday. He looked pretty composed. I know Deshaun Watson had himself a pretty solid game. You know, and we were just talking about Will Fuller. Will Fuller had himself a nice game. So, you know, does Houston maybe go on a run here, get hot? I don't think so. I think their season's a wash. But I don't know. That was an all right game to watch. It was pretty good. Just two bad teams making a good game. So.
Yeah, approximately 0 defense got played in that game. It was like 3 70-yard touchdowns in the game as well. Yeah, I think pretty sure Gardner Minshew lost his job based on this.
Had to have.
Being Jake Luton's first game, he played pretty well.
Yeah,
definitely not mad at that. So,
I agree. He played insane. Actually, he went 26 for 38, 304 yards with a touchdown. Obviously, against that Titans defense, you're going to get some extra passing yards because they're stinky. But on the other side of the ball, you're right. Deshaun Watson threw for 2 touchdowns, and he had more rushing yards than both of his running backs. So it was nice to actually see the Texans win that game. But I think the trend this season in 2020 is you see 2 stinker teams go at it. They're going to hit the over. It just kind of seems to go that way.
Yeah, literally, dude. We'll talk about the other one of that crushed it last night. But yeah, that has been the trend this year. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Deshaun Watson is that guy. I mean, like you said, just there's been 3 or 4 like crappy teams this year that have produced actually some good football on TV. So
keeps happening.
It just keeps happening. Here's kind of another one right here, a little Giants-Washington game. I mean, maybe not to that degree. I've been raving kind of the past 2 weeks of how, I mean, being a Jets fan, I should absolutely despise the Giants, and I'm not the biggest fan of their fan base, but just looking at an overall, I got to think outside of that mindset. The Giants look good, man. They look good. They look better week in and week out. This was the first game Daniel Jones did not have a turnover. I'm not saying he played amazing or great, but they played solid enough to hold a win over Washington. I mean, like I said, these just two bad teams, and someone's got to win it. It just kind of is what it is. We said it on one of the videos we uploaded, but shout out to Kyle Allen, man. That was one of the worst injuries I've ever seen in my life. That's the second one we've had to witness this year. First Dak, and now Kyle Allen. And Kyle Allen's looked a lot worse, dude. It's like this dude playing Mr. Potato Head with his legs, dude. Just looked like screwed on the wrong way, dude. But shout out to him, man. You don't ever want to see that. And then you got Alex Smith coming in, and we'll see what they do with the quarterback for the rest of the year. I don't know. What you guys think about this game?
Do we think Dwayne Haskins gets a start again before the end of the season?
I say yes, only because if you want to move off of him, you want to trade him, you got to show there's still some sort of value there. And my other thing is, dude, that you drafted him like 8th, 9th overall, and it's year 2, and he's just going to be done. I think if you don't play him, if he can't show anything on the field for the rest of the year of what he's able to do, I think he's just out of the league. Ohio State has never really had a quarterback produce like that in the NFL, if you really think about it. I think Dwayne Haskins is just going to fold right under that mold. So,
yeah, I agree. He just is not a good NFL quarterback.
I think you should throw him I think you should throw him back out there, because it's like, from a skill standpoint, he might not be there. But it's one of those situations too, where coming in, he obviously thought he was going to the Giants. He goes to the Redskins. He kind of shades the Giants, and then over the past year and a half, the Washington football team now has just been a fuckfest of a mess, all the way up from obviously the team, all the way up to the owner. And so it's just probably a hard situation to be in. A lot of moving parts, a lot of Ron Rivera being the head coach. They probably have no ties to Dwayne Haskins. I think that's why they brought Kyle Allen in. That was Ron Rivera's guy from the Panthers. And like I said, we saw what happened to him, but I think you got to throw Haskins back out there. My other thing is, I get nervous as hell every time Alex Smith steps on the field. I don't know why. It's just,
that dude's bust. He can walk in the first place.
I know.
Yeah. And he actually came out on Sunday onto that same field that he got injured on 2 years ago. So that's a nice little recovery story for him to go out there and actually play some good football. But I'm pretty sure the Washington football team was supposed to win this game 9 times out of 10. They had 5. Exactly. They had 5 turnovers, 3 interceptions, 2 lost fumbles, and the score was 20-23. So I really think if they held on to that rock a little bit better, it was a W. But at the end of the day, the Birds got this division locked down. I don't think either of these teams are going to do bullshit. Neither of them are going to make a wild card. Not even close.
Catch that Giants plus 2.5 as well. I gave that pick out on here.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
There you go. What a shitty division. All right, we got some Ravens-Colts action next. A little AFC matchup. This was just a weird one. I think the Ravens look good. Ravens did what they did. I'm kind of just questioning each week, how good are the Colts? Like I said, they have a really, really nice defense. It's literally just going to come down to what Phillip Rivers are we going to get today. Like I said, we've been getting spoiled over the past 4 or 5 years of, obviously, like I said before, Brady, Breeze, and Rodgers getting older, them still being able to be that old and play at a high level. I just don't think Phillip Rivers has that in him anymore. I definitely think he's a Hall of Fame guy, but I'm just not sure, he's going to be able to get it done anymore. The Ravens look solid. They got a win over. They should have won that game. They did win that game. There's no way they should have lost that game. But another game though, where Lamar only had like 170 yards and he had like 60 running. But I mean, yeah, the Ravens look all right. That's all I'm going to say. They're obviously winning games. They're 6-2, easy playoff game. Are they 7-1? Am I tripping?
6-2, I think.
6-2. I mean, they're obviously going to be there. Just something doesn't look too right. But after a win, you can ask questions later. So.
Yeah, the Colts are one of those. Yeah, the Colts were one of those teams where in the beginning of the season there was a lot of hype revolved around them. They were getting a couple early W's, and then now you just see as the season goes on, they're just kind of stinking it up. You said it great. They really had no shot here against the Ravens. It was just a bad matchup for them, and this was the bad version of Phillip Rivers that we saw. So they're just going to lose.
I think teams are finally figuring out how to scheme around Lamar as well. With a year of tape on him, I just feel like his stats have gone down tremendously. Mm-hmm. I don't think Ravens are ever going to be like a superstar caliber team again.
I mean, everything is literally there for the taking. It's just going to fall on Lamar's shoulders, I think. And, because they obviously have a great running attack, but we're just going to have to get them throw. Good teams are going to make him throw is what I'm saying. And we've seen that's kind of lost them a couple games this year, but good game nonetheless. Another really stinkfest game. I didn't really give a shit about watching. We have a little Lions Vikings action. It's 2 weeks in a row that boy Dalvin Cook has just been munching, dog. Just snacks on the field, going James Harden, Lil B, cooking, just doing all the shit to get it done. First Cousins didn't look bad either, man. Had himself a couple tutties. But Dalvin Cook rushing over for 200. If you go to YouTube right now, youtube.com/DMP Sports, we just uploaded mid-season award. Me and Twigg had Dalvin Cook winning Offensive Player of the Year this year, and I think he's just going to nail that. I think that whole offense evolves around him, and it will until he's not there anymore.
Yeah, he is at a bit of an injury risk, but until this point, he's just been that guy for the team. I don't see him. I don't see him losing Offensive Player of the Year. He's just been playing so well that it's his for the taking at this point.
He's just that guy. He went 22 carries for 206 yards with 3 touchdowns. Dude didn't play a snap in the fourth quarter because they didn't need him.
7 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
The backup there is good too. I like the other kid there, the running back Madison. He's
also good. Yeah. And obviously with Kirk Cousins, you're going to need a reliable back just because he's a little spotty week to week. They got Adam Thielen is a pretty crazy weapon, but they're not really. I can't say it. Not really having a good season here. Definitely the Dalvin Cook show in Minnesota this year, and he's going to keep eating, like you said.
Cooking up, folks, son. Let's get it. Man, Lions fucking suck, don't they?
Dude.
When is that organization going to be like, dude, it's been 10, 12 years of Matt Stafford not working. You're on your third year of Matt Patricia. It's like, it's not working. Like I said, that's just forever like a 6-10, 7-9 team until they just revamp the whole, tear the shit down. But shout out Matt Stafford, though. He's the dude. He got hurt, rest up. I don't think he's going to be playing next week, but I don't know why we're still talking about this game. Moving on, we got a little Tennessee Titans, Chicago Bears action. Titans came out, did what they had to do. Ryan Tannehill did all right. Offense didn't really look too crazy yesterday, but, I mean, they won this game solely off the fact that the Bears, for some reason, just can't figure out how to play offense. I know Nick Foles had like 350 yards, couple touchdowns. Just wasn't enough though. Low scoring games, Tennessee is going to take advantage of you. And this has been like 3 games in a row now where the Bears offense, I mean, Nick Foles did not look bad yesterday, but that offense as a whole, just kind of dump pack, dude. I just don't really know how to explain it. We've been talking about Nick Foles the past couple weeks. We talked about possibly putting Mitch Trubisky in a few days ago, but Titans are rolling. I like the Titans, AFC dark horse. The Bears, I don't think are going to win too many more football games this year. They might sneak 2 more, 7-9, but I think it's going to be rough for Chicago.
Yeah, we say every week Nick Foles is just kind of shit this season.
Yeah, we're beating a dead horse at this point.
Let me see Money Mitch back in there for at least one game.
I don't know about the money, dude. That's a loose change, Mitch, dude. You're picking up pennies off the sidewalk. I don't know.
I don't know. I like Mitch Trubisky. I don't know why.
I ain't even going to front. I have no clue why, dude.
I don't know.
Big UNC fan, are you? Tar Heels guy, dude, didn't do shit in college. They took him 10th overall. Or I don't know, remember when they took him over Watson, took him over Mahomes, dude. They just
that was kind of a dog move. But
hindsight 2020 on that. But the Bears just can't finish out games this season. They're going to keep losing. He
shows like flashes of brilliance sometimes, and then sometimes he just goes out there and looks like a complete idiot. There's no middle ground for Mitch Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the same thing with like Darnold, and same thing with what's his nuts there, Danny Dimes, White Lightning.
Drew Lock, same thing.
Drew Lock, same thing. Just have brilliant flashes of what they can do, and then just suck ass for 3 quarters. And I think Mitch is another example of that. But I don't know, dude. Fuck the Bears. I don't care. Panthers Chiefs action next. Which, hold up now, Panthers look like they're about to walk away with that doink. Smoking big doinks out in Amish. Hey, that's another one. I've been saying I got like 3 teams this year that I've just been kind of watching. One's the Giants, the other one's been the Panthers. I like what the Panthers got going on as a whole. Like I said, CMC being back has a really good game, and then he gets hurt again. We don't know how long he's going to be out. It's just crazy to think that when that guy is on the field, he's a difference maker. I know he's been injured before. I just hope it's not a continuing thing because, I mean, that man could ball. I think Teddy's been doing enough to just put them in the positions they are. Obviously, no one's ever going to hold Kansas City to 14, 17 points. It's just not going to happen. And the Panthers have a very, very young defense. They got a couple of really good rookies on that squad. So I think that's another year or two before that becomes really sound and efficient. But Teddy Bridgewater looked good, 310 yards, couple tutties. Christian McCaffrey obviously did good on both ends, but that boy Patty Mahomes went dummy on him, straight Schmeat pack. I have him as my MVP of the league so far. I think he's the best player in football. Dude just went out there and tossed that fucking pigskin around like it was a fucking baseball, dude, and they just do what they do. Shout out Patty Mahomes with that good hair too. He's got that curly fry joint going on. Oof. Woo!
That guy's just different. Caught from a different cloth.
We are not the same. I don't know. I like the Panthers operation. Yeah, they look like they could sneak that for a while. I think, what was the over for this game? Like 52?
Yeah, they smashed it.
Absolutely smashed it. I like it. I think they're still slow on getting Le'Veon Bell involved. I was hoping they'd kind of pick that up a little more. Only having 8 yards rushing and -5 out the backfield receiving. But I mean, the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I just feel, especially this year, there's no one else that comes out of the AFC as much as maybe people like the Steelers and how good they look. I think that's an AFC Championship matchup. Chiefs are just electric, man. That offense is insane.
Yeah, it was a great game to watch. Excuse me. It was a total shootout. There was 698 total passing yards from both teams. That's just disgusting.
Crazy.
And when you have a shootout like that between these two high-scoring offenses, it's just going to come down to who's the better team through and through, and that's just the Chiefs. So they got that dub, but almost 700 total passing yards that's some good TV to watch.
Sure is. You got anything there, Twiggy?
I mean, we pretty much hit it all. The Chiefs are just the best team in football. There's not really much more to say.
Not much more to say. Lock them in right now. Super Bowl pick winner. We're going to move on here to a game I don't think anybody expected the score of this game to be what it is. We got Seattle, Buffalo. Buffalo absolutely just whomped on them. We've been saying this since I think we started this show that the Seahawks did not look good in the first half. We can just be fair about that. They did not look good at all. Definitely turned it on in the second half. But this is just a prime example of what we've been saying of how Russell Wilson has to play his ass off to win these games. He has to go out of his mind. And when you throw the ball 41 times and you're constantly having to create plays to try to keep up with the other team because your defense is letting up points, you're going to turn the ball over 4 times, which he did, which isn't a good look. It kind of might be disrespectful, but kind of bumped him down for me in the MVP race so far. Not saying he can't get it back, but that was an ugly game on his part. It's just an ugly game on the whole team's part. My only thing with Russell is, obviously the defense is bad, but hey, when you're down a couple touchdowns, the last thing you can do is throw an interception. He threw one right in the end zone. So that was just an overall, just a dump pack day for the Seattle Seahawks. I think they'll be fine. This might have just been a little humbling. But I'm over here talking about the Seattle one. I need to give the Bills their credit. I've been kind of ragging on Josh Allen past couple weeks. That dude's a fucking monster. 415 yards, 3 touchdowns. Just slinging that thing. They look good. The defense looks good. Bills are legit. I'm telling you, Bills are legit. That's a 10-6 football team that I don't know if they get past the first round, but they're going to be good for a while. They're definitely going to be good for a while.
Yeah, they got the talent to be good for a while. That Stephon Diggs to Josh Allen connection is just wet week in, week out. And yeah, I like that team quite a bit. I don't think the Seahawks go deep in the playoffs with their defense playing that poorly. Like you said, Russ has to shoot out every game just for it to be competitive. You can only do that so long before you get figured
Russell
out.
Wilson is the James Harden of the NFL. He has to put up a triple-double every night for them to have a chance to win the game. And yeah, like I'm saying, like this morning today, I like Green Bay over them. I still like the Buccaneers over them. We'll talk about that game here in a little bit. I even like the Saints over the Seattle Seahawks at this point, and that's, with all due respect to Russell Wilson, like I said, that defense, that secondary, come playoff time, that's going to be, shootout or bust. And I don't know. What do you got, Mike?
Yeah, Seahawks defense is allowing the most points every week. They're leading the NFL points allowed. It's just not going to work. That's the storyline. Everyone knows it. But on the other side of the ball, we got the Bills. And I don't really think enough people are talking about Stephon Diggs right now. Him and Josh Allen are going absolutely insane. Stephon Diggs is actually leading the league in receiving yards, and I think Yak as well. And that connection is just crazy. Even when they're having a bad game, you'll see Stephon Diggs go for at least 50, 60. So he's leading the league, but I feel like we're not hearing his name enough.
That's fair. Yeah, shout out Bills, shout out AFC. Depending on what the Jets do this offseason and how quick Bill Belichick can bounce back, that might be one of the premier divisions in the league. And I might be talking out of my ass there, but yeah, good game from the Bills. We'll see next week if Seattle kind of bounce back from that. Moving down the line here, next game we're going to talk about is some Denver Broncos, Atlanta Falcons action. Another stink bowl that actually turned out to be not a bad football game. It got a little dicey there at the end, dude. I really thought the fucking Broncos looked like they had a chance to pull something off, dude. I was just sitting there thinking, like, this is not going to happen again to Atlanta. But I don't think there was enough time to pull off what they could have. But this is when Drew Lock did not look bad yesterday. I don't think he looked, insane, but, he didn't play bad at all. Jerry Jeudy's proven himself to be a really good wide receiver, pretty good draft pick that they made. Like I said, I like the Denver's offense. I like some of the pieces they have. I'm just more or less waiting on Drew Lock. And like I said, down the stretch, he did play good yesterday. They did make it look like they were going to go on a run. But on the other side of the ball, Falcons, this is, what I've been saying. They're 3-6 right now. I still think they're looking at their schedule, they're going to win a couple more football games. Matty Ice is doing Matty Ice things. Todd Gurley's been playing all right this year. I don't know. This was just one of those games where unless you're a fan of them, it just kind of is what it is. Solid game, fun to watch. Not hating, but I am hating because they suck.
Yeah, it's another one of the teams that just needs to shoot out to stay competitive. Their defense is nearly as bad as the Seahawks as well. So Matt Ryan just needs to go off every game for it to be even close, like you mentioned before. But yeah, that's pretty much all there's to say about the Falcons. They kind of choke every game possible.
Yeah, literally. Twigg hit it right on the head. They have an electric offense just like the Seahawks, but they just can't get it done on defense. They're giving up way too many points. And this 2020 season, I've lost too many parlays on the Falcons, so I'm done putting money on them here. It's just crazy. they just keep giving up the ball game at the end. It's nice to see him get the dub here. Matty Ice is actually having a pretty great season, passing yards wise as well as touchdowns, but they just can't close out games, even though they won this week.
Just a bunch of empty stats for the most part. I don't think.
Yeah.
Empty. No, I agree. They suck. We're gonna move on. Another little AFC matchup right here. Raiders Chargers. To where this is what we've been saying about the Chargers, man. They're losing really, really close games. If not for about 2 plays, they would have won this game. The Raiders still kind of look legit. Derek Carr did what he had to do to get the win. I like the Raiders receiving core between Booker, Jacobs. I like Jalen Richard. I know he's more of a receiving back, but solid player. Raiders got good pieces at wide receiver, obviously Darren Waller at tight end. And then, that boy, Mr. Disney Channel, Hatching Pete himself, Justin Herbert, dude, just continues each week to sling that rock. We're going to go back out. We did that midseason award, and I know you guys both said, he's probably going to be the offensive rookie of the year. I say Joey B, but like either or, they're both just playing incredible for being rookies and being in the situations they are. Just kind of putting the team and franchise on their back. Justin Herbert's putting up insane stats for being a rookie. Keenan Allen did what he did. I think Mike Williams is one of the more underrated players at the league, especially at that wide receiver spot. I like the Chargers defense too, not as much as their offense, but I know Twigg, you said last show you got the Raiders as a potential dark horse coming out of the AFC. Super Bowl, no, but I do agree with you. Jesus
they make
Christ,
a sneaky playoff run for sure. I think
they definitely could. Either I could definitely see the Raiders winning a playoff game or wild card game and sneaking one in and having a pretty successful season. I think they just got good culture. John Gruden's 3rd year now as the head coach. Things are finally starting to get put together. So I definitely like the Raiders, and I definitely just want to shout out the Chargers, man. I've just been high on them. I think we all are. Justin Herbert's fun to watch, and I like what they got cooking there in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I say this every show, but the Chargers should not be a 2-6 football team. They lose so many close games week after week.
We've literally said for about 4 weeks now, if you just go look at the numbers, dude, they're just losing games by like plays or two.
Yeah, it's sick.
That's a good thing. Like that's what I said though. For being a loss though, that's something really positive to come out of that. At the best, so at the worst. So I agree.
Yeah.
Yep. You got it right on the head.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm just saying this division right here with the Chiefs leading at 8-1 is just going to be tough. They're probably going to have that playoff berth for the next 25 years. But the Chargers at the bottom, it's just tough. Like they're losing all these games, and they could have contention in an AFC run. Like I think they do have the squad, but their record is not going to allow them to even make a wild card game probably at this point. So hate to see that. I think Derek Carr and the Raiders are actually quite legit. I don't know. Like I don't have too crazy stats on the Raiders or anything, but they just seem to be slipping through. I think they're sliding under the radar, and they're getting it done. I mean, they're going to be a positive record at the end of the season.
You want to know who's super underrated this season is Nelson Aguilar. He catches like a deep touchdown every week, seems like. I just want to know where that was when he was playing for the Eagles.
Yeah, I think he used all that as motivation because let me tell you what, boy, Philly roasted that man. And well deserved. Like he's playing like shit, but
stinky.
You're right. It is good to see him actually not suck.
Yeah, I mean that's true. Well, I think what makes the Raiders work so good is they're definitely a run the football team, and create those big plays over the top. Josh Jacobs, the Josh Jacobs, Booker and Jalen Richard combo is really good. So when they're able to pound the ball like they did yesterday, they're going to be able to create those plays over the top when you got big receivers like Henry Ruggs and Waller at the tight end. But shout out Raiders Chargers. I mean, like I said, the Broncos are the only one I'm a little hezzy on in that division, but that's going to be a solid division for a couple of years. We're going to watch the Raiders and Chargers and the Chiefs battle out for, I think, obviously kind of like we said about the Chiefs, I think they're about to run shit, but that'll be a fun little division to watch some good teams. I just would love me some Judge. Tell me he hasn't starred in every Disney Channel movie, dude. Just looks, that's insane,
Fits
dude.
the part.
just fits the parts. But good for him, dude. Dude's got a fucking cannon for an arm. He's probably got that Schmeat pack too, but we'll leave that alone. So we're gonna move on to the next game. We got some Dolphins versus Cardinals battle of the 5-foot quarterbacks. And I mean, hey, I'm going to just say right now, Kyler Murray 100% had a better game than Tua yesterday. I think Tua looked solid. But yet again, this is what we talked about. We did our midseason rewards. I got to give a lot of credit to Brian Flores, man, for just doing what he's been able to do over the past couple of years and the culture he's built in that locker room. And those guys just play hard, man. They got some veteran pieces on the defense, which is good. They went out, paid big money for a cornerback. And then, let Ryan Tannehill take these couple games until they said, hey, we got this rookie here who we think's ready to play. And obviously last week against the Rams, he didn't really need to play that good. And I think this week he kind of shut me up. I gave a hot take kind of a little bit last week that I'll let people go back and watch. But I think he kind of shut him up. Like I said, it's only 2 games, so I don't know. He definitely looked good. Kyler, on the other hand, looked amazing, as usual, literally having a sleeper MVP type year. Just 283 yards passing, 106 rushing, 4 overall touchdowns. I mean, that's just kind of insane. I like the Cardinals, man. We kind of talked last week. What did I propose? Was it Cardinals Rams, I think, today, who you thought was better? And I don't know, dude. That's going to be a tough division. I think both those teams are sitting at 5-3 right now, and those are going to come down to the last couple of weeks of the season. And I like the Cardinals offense. They got solid pieces on defense. Budda Baker, top 5 safety in the league. Get Chandler Jones back in there. You obviously got Pat Pete. So I think both these teams are set. That was a good game. That was one of the better games we've seen all year. Yeah, I mean, what did you guys see?
Yeah, I didn't get to see much of it. Another shootout of a game. I think Cardinals should have won that game, probably in all reality. I'm kind of glad Tua got the W, though. I'm glad he got to prove himself a little bit. And I'm based off a 2-game sample size. I can't really say much still, but I think both of them are going to be still studs in the future.
I think so too.
Yep. The Dolphins right now 5-3 record. I don't really see them topping the Bills at the end of the season to get that first round playoff, but it's really nice. It's really nice to see the Dolphins finally turn it around and actually start winning some games. They've just been classically thinking, back in your childhood, who are the 2 shitty teams, the Dolphins and the Browns. So it's nice to see them second in their division over the Patriots.
Our childhood, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Dolphins didn't really become bad until 2000.
Yeah. As far as my life goes, dude, the Dolphins are dog shit.
That's true. But they have a huge fan base, though. That's historically, the 70 Dolphins are the only team to go perfect. But it's definitely cool to see them be good. I know a couple Dolphins fans. I live about 5 hours from Miami, so definitely cool to see that team be good and potentially have their guy in Tua. I think everything else on that team is good. It's just let Tua figure shit out. I think that's going to be a really good football team. Speaking of a not good football team, we're going to talk about Steelers-Cowboys action. I fucking told y'all last week, if the Steelers lose a game, it's going to be this game against the Cowboys. They look like they were about to lose it, but the Cowboys are just – so, that's what we're going to get. But, I definitely think the Steelers did not look right for the first half. Who was the quarterback for the Cowboys, dude? I don't even know at this point. They're starting Cooper Daniels, Chase Upton's. I don't know who's out there playing quarterback.
He didn't look that bad, though.
He didn't look that bad. He did play solid. The defense is still ass. Cowboys season is just a wash. And obviously, Steelers being 8-0, good for them. Only undefeated team left. Mike Tomlin, obviously, what did it say, 20 years with a winning record.
14 straight seasons
without losing. So, I mean, that score that I'm looking at right now, 24-19, seems crazy. The Steelers 100% should have won that game, which they did. But, boy, I thought the Cowboys were going to pull that one off.
Yeah, it was a lot closer than it should have been. I didn't get another game I didn't get to see a lot of. I did see that their rookie receiver, CeeDee Lamb, muffled a punt to set up the Steelers to win the game. So just a rookie mistake on his part. It happens.
He's solid though. I like CD.
I do too. Their offense on paper, like you mentioned before, is still so good. They just can't figure out how to get it done.
Well, that offensive line can't stay healthy either.
Yeah, the story with the Cowboys obviously been injuries this season, but I mean, they just can't figure out ways to win games. The first half, it really looked like they were going to smoke the Steelers. And then the Steelers went in the locker room. Remember, they were 7-0.
Remember the Titans.
It's just a wrap. But, yeah, Cowboys stink. Steelers are great. That's it.
Pretty much.
Steelers over the Chiefs?
No way.
Play tomorrow?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think Chiefs roster is way too deep. I think they have overall more talent than the Steelers.
They got a track team out there, dude. A wide receiver, dude. Just insane.
I think it'd be closer than people think it would be. I think it'd be a competitive game, but
Sure.
I couldn't give Steelers the edge over that.
I would bet under 60. I really would.
Yeah,
under 60.
I don't hate that.
I mean, 60 is a lot. I don't know. I think you're right. I think you said it earlier, Raji, but that's probably going to be the AFC Championship game most likely.
I mean,
if all things go right, yeah.
If all things go right, like I said, we're still,
Baltimore's
right there. Tennessee's still right there. Hey, fucking maybe Buffalo fucks around and figures something out.
Anything can happen in playoffs.
That is true. We're going to move on to the next game. Second to last, just an absolute stink fest of a game. Saints absolutely dog walk the Buccaneers, which now puts the Saints at the top of the division. Listen, I know the Bucs had a short week, but I don't know what the fuck we watched last night. I think these teams match up really, really good on paper, but now, obviously Saints being 2-0 over the Bucs, over your division, this is, foreign territory for Brady. And they flat out looked bad last night. I saw a bunch of shit. Obviously, one of the first things to blame was I saw a lot of people using the Antonio Brown thing, thinking that threw out the chemistry and whatnot. Which, I mean, I could see the argument. I could agree with that, just being like they were already jiving and vibing and jelloing and schmooving and grooving and all those adjectives. And, I could see where Mike Evans, Chris Godwin might feel some type of way because kind of looked like they were feeding him there for a little bit. He didn't play bad at all. And, I mean, obviously Brady throwing 3 picks is not good. But, we've been seeing him throw more this year. I think he's got 6 or 7 now, and I think more or less that I'm obviously not trying to defend Tom Brady hard, but just kind of like that Bucs team just not being as disciplined and them making mistakes that he's just never seen before. Being 20 years in New England, he's just that's probably just 100% a whole new experience for him. Just we saw obviously in the first couple games of the year them in having some penalty troubles, and that's just all discipline and coaching. I like Bruce Arians. He had a comment after the game where he was kind of throwing shade at Tom Brady, and I saw Skip Bayless say something today earlier about like who the hell is Bruce Arians talking about Tom Brady, and in a way I agree with that because like I don't care how good of an offensive guru you are, like Tom Brady is running that offense. Dude's got 6 Super Bowls. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt to know what he's doing, but they've made some mistakes. This is year 1 for them all being together. I think at times, like we said early on, we saw some force feed to Gronk. And last night we saw some force feed to. They only ran the ball like 5 times too, which is insane. I don't think they're running Leonard Fournette enough. I like Ronald Jones. So yeah, the offense sucked ass yesterday, but that defense didn't really do any better either. I know we've been raving about their defense, but that side of the ball is also very, very young. Down there in Tampa, and they obviously have great players. We've talked about Antoine Winfield, Carlton Davis, Devin White, the linebacker out of LSU, is a potential superstar. Levante Davis, Shaq Barrett. They got names, JPP with a 4-piece. Shout out to Fireworks. But I just put a lot of it. Why the fuck am I defending Tom Brady, dude? Like, I'm a Jets fan. Like, I think I just want that $50 Twigg owes me. So,
I don't
know, dude. Fuck Tom Brady and the Bucs. But the only reason I vote is just because I've been to a couple Bucs games. So that's the only reason. But I low-key hate Tom Brady, so I'm gonna just shut up.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. I mean, you can hate on the man, but regardless, he's still the best to ever do it.
Respect.
Yeah. He kind of got exposed this week a little bit.
A little bit, sure. I
definitely did not see the game playing out like that at all. But again, I don't think the Bucs are as good as people say they are. They should have, in all reality, kind of lost that Giants game as well. They really just haven't gelled together the past couple of weeks. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we can't forget that Tom Brady is in a whole new system, whole new offense, whole new everything at this point. So there is obviously going to be some issues. 9 games in, they're 6-3, which is great winning. But in the game Sunday night, you could just see the issues that they can have. And as well as a little bit of stuff off the field, I don't think Tom Brady is used to a coach like Bruce Arians, who will go out in the media and actually say when you're doing bad. You know, Belichick would sit there and give the media nothing, just we got to be better. But Bruce Arians
on to Cincinnati.
Bruce Arians will come out and say, you know, Tom Brady wasn't targeting Mike Evans, who was wide open. He was trying to force it to Gronk. If you just go through that press conference, Bruce Arians was saying, like, I don't want to say negative things about Tom Brady, but he's obviously not afraid to say when he's having a bad game.
What's Bruce Arians won?
Jack shit.
That's all I'm saying.
No, yeah, and so I don't know. It's a weird situation they got going over there. Obviously, they have a lot of talent. They can win games, but as a whole complete team, I don't think they really have it figured out yet.
There's just so many mouths to feed on that team now that it's just going to be hard to get in a good rhythm, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, I still think like 9-7, dude.
Does that make the playoffs, though?
Not in NFC.
I'd have to look. I think so.
I don't think so.
Because I think we're going to see the Rams and the Cardinals kind of slow down a bit. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I got to look at their schedule. But, I mean, come on. It's definitely a playoff team. I don't. But I
think they're going to be right in the line, for sure.
The Saints got 2-0 over on them now. So, I mean, that's huge, obviously, for the division. And, I mean, hey, Drew Brees looked good last night. I've been kind of ragging him since we started the show. You know, they look good. The white boy linebacker there for the Saints, what's his name? Hendrickson, I think his name is, with the flow. Dude's got some flow long hair. Dude was out there eating up last night. Had like 2 back-to-back sacks on TB12. But yeah, I don't think anyone, and the Bucs are the favorite too, which is crazy. And they went out there and just got absolutely punked. Still a playoff team, though. So, all right, we're going to move on to the last game, Monday Night Football, everybody's favorite and my favorite team, the New York Jets. I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to rant. I'm not going to talk about what could have been. The Jets almost fucking won that game, dude. I'm really happy they didn't. That sounds weird, but they need to go 0-16. We need Trevor Lawrence. Joe Flacco was out there kind of balling for a minute. What I think would happen is came out through 260 yards, 3 tutties, came down to that first quarter with a couple minutes left. I think that dude got a ring in his earpiece from Joe Douglas up there in the booth saying, hey, you better fucking throw that pick, dude. We're trying to lose football. So he just bombed one downfield, like 60 yards, double coverage, Denzel Mim. I mean, who the fuck's catching that ball? Obvious pick. You pretty much just punted it. And obviously Cam, they were able to come down and score that. I know you, Mike. I don't know if you're going to. You should give out that parlay you had last night that got fumbled.
Yeah, we can tweet it out. Look at DMP Sports on Twitter, see that parlay. But the story is, this was a very competitive game. Both these teams, obviously the Jets are on a fucking stinker season, but the Patriots are also not playing hot at all. A lot of people were saying Cam needed to have a great performance in this game just to kind of prove himself in New England, and I think he did, especially that last drive. They were in a 2-minute drill, and Cam just threw a dart and got him in field goal position. He couldn't have played it any better. And that's what ended up winning them the game. So
the Patriots have no pass attack, dude. It's insane. All their points are coming from rushing touchdowns. Cam Newton, just absolutely no receivers. And yeah, you know, he did look good. The game is obviously up for the Jets to score 27 points. Blew my fucking mind.
Smashed that plus nine and a half there, boys.
They did. That's crazy, dude. And it looked like they were going to win the game, but that just seemed a little too coincidental to me that, like, you had a shot to maybe go march down, kick a field goal, and fucking Joe Flacco, dude, scrambled that brain, just launches the thing downfield. Like, what are we doing, dude? But I'm not mad at it. I'm definitely not mad at it. I've told you guys Jaguars need to win one more, so we just need to ride that lose train out. Listen, I think the Jets got a couple pieces. Brashard Perryman looked fat yesterday, dude. Meat pack, catching some balls.
Jameson Crowder too.
Jameson Crowder. I like Denzel Mims. So there's a couple key staying pieces. Mekhi Becton might be the largest human being I've ever seen in my life, dude. Dude's the Big Show with football pads on, just a mammoth human being. I like him. I like Quinnen Williams on the defense. I like the rookie safety there, Ashton Davis, who laid a nasty hit yesterday on Cam Newton. So, I mean, there's 5 or 6 pieces I like from the Jets, a couple good young guys. Rest of that shit can go. We'll start over. But, I mean, yeah, shout out the Patriots. Low-key fuck the Patriots. But they pulled out a good win last night. Another one, dude, shitty-ass football teams. Fun game to watch. Not mad at it.
Another shootout.
What'd you have there, Twig?
Yeah, I mean, that's just about do it. Cash that Jets plus 9.5. Show me someone else that was on that. Not a lot of people were on that. I'll take that.
It was 7.5, which I thought was a little iffy, and then it shot up to 9.5, and I was like, no way, I would not take that. But they fucking hammered it. So I mean, you love to see it. Put a little money in your pocket. You want some more lines like that, some more bets, man? Go check out Twitter.com @TwigDFS, Twitter.com/the Meat Pack, because that's what we are. We are the Meat Pack, and we out this bitch, baby. Thanks for watching. Unless y'all got something else, dude. Say it now. Forever hold your peace. All right, get the fuck out of here. Meat Pack Salami Squadron, baby.